Welcome back. The ThePapare is unsurpassed in sports content. Please also send your tributes to the two legends on thepapare.com's Sangha Mahela tributes page. Okay, faced with that daunting target of 333, I think Bangladesh were effectively slowed down and eventually put out when they lost their fifth wicket at 100. But Sri Lanka really took upon themselves, as you said earlier, with that intent from the man that matters most, Lasith Malinga.
Yeah, and also I was a little bit baffled by the Bangladeshi tactics. Now, the batting order, yes. Because, one of the commentators mentioned as to whether the strategies have changed, as to whether Bangladesh was really planning a assault in the last 10 to 15 overs. But I am a firm believer that you need to play your best batsman up front.
Yeah, especially when you're chasing 330, your best batsmen need to bat
Shakib and Mushfiq batting at 6 and 7. A waste of time.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Mahamadullah coming in and scoring 28 or 43 balls. He took the sting off that Bangladesh chase, and I love the Sri Lankans to come back. Rangan Herath was able to bowl about 5 overs, of great economy. He just kept bowling dot balls, created the pressure. So I also felt, Haritha, that of course Sri Lanka played brilliant out cricket, but the Bangladesh strategies and the way they set about trying to get to the 330 was contributory in the final analysis.
When you look at how it was fashioned up, Malinga picking up 3 wickets. Now the second time he's done that, he's not perfect, he's not bowling that 145 plus, but the balance is just falling down, except of course ThePapare. What's the news? Has he recovered from whatever that prevented him from opening?
I've heard that it was a cramp, and I don't think it's anything serious. Cramp is something people can
I also don't think it's that serious, because he just seemed to pull up a little bit, and I don't think it's that serious, and he will, I'm sure he'll be available for the England game.
Suranga Lakmal again, he is now Sri Lanka's most successful bowler in 3 outings, two each in each.
Yeah, but I wasn't too impressed with the way he bowled, Haritha. 8 overs, 48 runs, or a little bit more than 40 runs. He went at more than 6 runs an over.
Yeah, he bowled. Yeah, I mean,
in patches.
He bowled well in patches.
Patches. He was not consistent.
Yeah, maybe Angelo or the support staff need to work out exactly what works for him and what doesn't, and which situations he is good at bowling in. Maybe with a new ball, or maybe in the middle overs, maybe even at the death.
I certainly don't think he's a death bowler. I certainly
you think Sri Lanka is a bowler short in that match? Tilaka Dilishan, he has 2 wickets, the same economy from Rangan Herath. So you are in agreement that
a bowler short, because ThePapare is bowling badly, and also Suranga Lakmal is not really living up to what we are expecting him to be. Because I personally feel that he is not a death bowler, at least the way he bowls.
Yeah.
He doesn't lack, or at least he lacks a lot of variety that you will expect from a death bowler. I don't know why he doesn't bowl a slower ball.
He does have a good off cutter, but he's reluctant to bowl it against the right handers because it comes into him and he's worried about them hitting with the.
That's something. I mean, we've got Chamin Devas, we've got on top of all that Rumesh Ratnayaka. Why do you think it's not sinking into him, or it's not seeping into him as far as an advice is concerned?
Well, that's for then maybe it's a confidence factor, but maybe it's just actually I think the best person to speak to him would be Lasith, because there is no one better at death bowling than Lasith, and it's a matter of maybe Lasith having a chat to him and saying, why don't you do this? And Lasith plays with his field very well. He plays with the batsman's mind. Gives him a lot to think about. With Suranga, as Roshan quite rightly said, you know what's coming, and the batsman is not guessing. Whereas with Lasith, the batsman is always guessing: is it the Yorker, is it the bouncer, is it the slow ball, is it the wide Yorker? So the batsman has no idea what's coming.
These small things that Sri Lanka got Bangladesh bowled out within these stipulated number of overs, 3 overs short. And Lasith Malinga picking up that last man, Taskin Ahmed, with that perfect Yorker first ball. I mean, it gives you a little bit confidence, don't you?
He's coming back in there. But going forward, I still feel that we are a bowler short. We are playing with Rangana, Lasith and Suranga as 3 specialist bowlers, and then we are looking to get that is provided they bowl 10 overs each and we get to 30, then we need 20 overs from Dilshan, Angelo and Thisara, which against better teams might not be that easy, and I'm not so sure that we need 2 specialist batsmen at number 6 and number 7.
You're right, that I think is the problem.
We have 2 specialist batsmen at 6 and 7. I don't know if we need that going forward.
Now that Upul Taranga has joined the side, I think Upul Taranga should bat at 6. At
Dimuth's expense?
At Dimuth's expense, because Upul Taranga is such a versatile player, and I think Upul Taranga going there now in the middle of the tournament is a blessing, because Haritha, we've discussed this before, teams need experience, especially playing in big events like this, and Upul Taranga has 170 games, I think. And that's a lot of experience.
It's never mind the number of games or the number of
runs.
But
that's experience.
Number of runs. It's just that he'll fit in very comfortably.
And also the experience. I mean, he knows exactly how to adapt. And the fact that
basically one would argue that in today's context, 6 and 7 is a six hitter. Not exactly. But Sri Lanka doesn't need that.
It depends.
Yeah, now with the new fielding rules, we saw that you don't need to be 6 hitters, because you always have a boundary option with an extra fielder inside the ring.
Yeah.
Sangha and Dilshan are not big 6 hitters. What they did was they manipulated the field, they manipulated the ball into gaps.
There was only 1 6 in that entire innings.
Yeah.
Just Sangakkara hit 1 6, and we got boundaries and singles and twos.
So that is the experience of knowing when and how to start and plan out your attack. So experience will be very important, and if Taranga can do that in the middle, going forward, if they might even say, maybe let's bring Thiri back to the middle and send Upul at the top.
That's something I want to discuss, Roshan.
I'm not very sure whether they'll do that, Jehan.
I don't think they'll do that.
Thiri
But
is now settled. I mean, you just got
he got a couple of 50s.
Yeah, he's got out first ball against Afghanistan. That was bad luck. But before that, he got a 60. Now he's got a 100-run stand. So they'll want to go with an established pair rather than bring in somebody new. But why I think Upul Taranga is going to be such a pivot is because he's experienced. And as Jehan was saying, there are so many gaps now with these new field restrictions. I mean, you just need to chip it over the field. You get the 2s and the 4s. So I feel Sri Lanka should go with 6 batsmen, maybe Thisara the 7th as an all-rounder and play 4 bowlers. Unfortunately, Chandimal might miss out now because Upul Taranga is an option in the Sri Lankan 11.
Now, coming into that next game, Sri Lanka will be looking at a win, and depending on what happens with the Australia-New Zealand game before that particular match, there's a good opportunity, even with the game more, that Sri Lanka can get on top of Australia. And in that pool, that final position will always be important when you consider what's coming up in the other pool, and that would be something that they will think about. So what about a change in the bowling department? We'll talk about anything else. Is Dushmant Chameera ready to be included?
I'm not sure.
I mean, he has the pace, he's raw, but again, World Cups, I would go with experience.
Exactly.
I would, depending on the pitch of course, but I would look at bringing Satitra back in. That's our strength, spin is our strength. I don't think we should just go in with...
So you think there'll be a radical change as far as Sri Lanka is concerned?
I don't think it's a radical change. I think going with 4 bowlers should be the norm. I think it's just that we are worried about our middle order, which is why we are playing the extra batsman. Normally you wouldn't have a specialist batsman at number 7. None of the teams carry a specialist batsman at number 7. It's an all-rounder. But because of our worry about the middle order, we are doing that. But after the Bangladesh game, and we are talking about the confidence, I think we should have enough confidence in our top order and then the middle order to play with 6 batsmen and bring in an extra bowler, whether it's Sachitra or another fast bowler, depending on the conditions, depending on the oppositions. I don't think it's a radical change.
Prashant, sometimes we thought our strength was batting. So if we are going to take out an extra batsman, you think we are taking too much of a chance or what?
No, I don't think so. I mean, that's the very reason why we should take out the extra batsman, because we got 6 good batsmen. As I said, if Taranga comes in, then we got a very strong batting lineup with a lot of experience. With Thiri at the top and getting runs, the 3, 4, 5, 6 seem to be settled. So we can afford to play around. I agree with Jehan, the 7th batsman is a waste. Because even if you play a 7th batsman, for him to come in and do something big, the top 6 has to bat very badly, Haritha. And I don't think that will happen. You know, you'll expect at least 2 batsmen in that Sri Lankan top 6 to put their hands up and get Sri Lanka out of whatever situation they are in.
Okay, the Papare is unsurpassed in sports content, sharing the passion. Another break comes up.
Fire up your home or office with ultimate speeds. Keep up with the next generation on Dialog 4G. Connect to the fastest network with burst speeds of 40 Mbps. Go 4G with monthly plans starting at just 1,400 rupees. Dialog, the future today.